All right, let's welcome Amisha Vora into the conversation. Joins in from Prabhudas Leeladhar. Amisha, good afternoon. That's my question to you. It's been fairly painful last, I think, 7-8 weeks for mid-caps. Just consistent decline at the index level, much bigger if you're looking at individual stocks. But do you have your shopping list out? And what's on that shopping list when it comes to mid-caps?
So I think the way macro has turned from oil prices to other commodity prices and also resultantly bond yields, and of course not to forget the extremely high valuations that mid-caps were enjoying. So they are giving in a bit of their gains, I would say. I would also like to say that the underlying corporate earnings in mid-cap has been quite okay. There is no lagging behind in that. But it's the other macro factors and of course the fund flow which is dictating a correction. And I think it's very, it was overdue. The valuations were pretty stretched. And on the top of these two uncertainties which are macro, where maybe apart from mid-cap, I think the even index performance has been very sideways from January onwards. The extreme overweight on India is getting a little corrected because of the oil prices, I would say. And now the election uncertainties as it keeps coming closer, that will also keep a check on the overall sentiment. So, and the second question, that have you kept your shopping list ready? So I would say yes, the shopping list, this is going to be the year to keep the shopping list ready. Be tight and sit tight with your own prices, and most likely you should get it at your own prices. And then you should ride it for next 3 to 5 years again, is what my broad view is.
Amisha, hi, good afternoon. Thoughts on a stock like Bajaj Finance? Phenomenal the way it's moved even after numbers.
So I think that this is one stock where even in a year like election year, even when a year when bond yields and maybe resultantly the interest can harden up a bit for NBFCs, one shouldn't trade, because otherwise than these two temporary factors, the overall opportunity that they are trying to address and the way they are addressing both is phenomenal. So I think this will continue to chug along. There is no two thinking about remain invested in the stock.
Amisha, what's your take on FMCG / consumer discretionary? Because that's the one area where everybody's hiding. Numbers are still looking okay. Valuations continue to be high. So how are you picking and choosing your stocks there?
So particularly this quarter, most of the conference call commentaries said that the rural growth for them in many categories is higher than urban growth. And it is coming back, so which is a very positive sign, I would say, which makes the growth very broad-based. So 2-3 segments in absolute large cap, though Britannia has done extremely well, we have been bullish on it for last 3 years, we continue to say stay overweight on that. And as we go down and in the mid-cap part, we think that with the onset of little correction which has happened, 3 stocks like Crompton Consumers, Havells and Kajaria, they continue to, and Century Ply, these 4 look very good to us.
Okay, some of these stocks have done well, of course, though off late there's been some profit taking. Just about 5 minutes left for markets to close. Let's take some more thoughts from our technical experts as well.
On this one. But, Amisha, another interesting facet of trade has been, the way commodity stocks have reacted. Many of them have come off a great quarter, whether it was some of the steel names, whether it was some of these graphite plays. What next for some of these commodity names from here? Would you advise caution, or do you think on specific metals perhaps one can keep holding some positions?
It so appears to me that there are 2 stocks in our top picks, JSPL and JSW. And in both, I think, of course, commodity cycle has helped substantially. but their volume growth is also going to be so good that a little weakness in commodity price may also still lend them into huge growth in their EBITDA and profitability next year. And apart from that, our analyst view is that the cycle will still continue to be reasonably steady and strong. So these two names we are still backing quite a lot.
Okay, well, just about 2.5 minutes left. Mitesh, there's a technical factor